Reach high, aim high, and obtain. I have some drumsticks here, and it's just a little bit over a pound. And we're going to be opening this up and putting it into our bowl here. But I gotta get it open. There we go. There we go. I'm getting there. They did a really good job with the packaging on this. My compliments to the farm for how they did this. There we go. Okay, so put these in there. It's still de-thawing, but that's okay. Okay, that's 4. It's about 5 drumsticks. It's not too bad. Okay, we're gonna put that in there. Then we're gonna take some of our yogurt, and this can be either the SIBO or the Reuteri. And we're just gonna take a little bit. We're gonna take about 2 tablespoons and put it in there. Stir this around a bit. These all coated really well. We're gonna get some delicious meat out of this. I'm excited. We're gonna do a little bit of a soaking, and then I'm gonna take some of our milk. I'm gonna put just a little bit of milk, not much. I just want a little bit in there. Stir that around a bit.
Okay, that looks good.
A little bit more. Because we want to get them just a little bit soaking in this so that we can get a really good result. It's gonna be so good.
Ready?
Uh-huh. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a lid on this.
I love those covers.
I know, we don't use them often, but when we do, we use them with purpose, don't we, Mom? Okay, and then we're gonna put this in our fridge and let it sit overnight. In here, we have 1 cup of arrowroot and half a cup of almond flour. It's kind of underneath my arrowroot. There you go. You can kind of see it there. And in addition to that, I have 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and it's just garlic that's been dehydrated, ground down. I have 1 teaspoon of ginger powder, again, dehydrated, ground up. Paprika, I have 2 teaspoons of this. Curry, I have 2 teaspoons of that. And then I added 1/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper to it, and then 2.5 teaspoons of salt to this. And we're going to stir this all together. And also, I took out just a few minutes ago our chicken so that it can come to room temperature. And we're just going to stir this up really well. And this is going to be our coating for our chicken. Oh, doesn't that smell delicious? Oh my goodness. I can smell those flavors as I'm stirring it. You want to stir it well. Oh, man, this is making my mouth salivate just smelling these herbs all coming together. When I first put it in, it wasn't that, potent of a scent. The second I stir it, it's like, oh, give me more. Okay, so we're gonna have all this come together. And then what we're going to do, because we now have our dry ingredients stirred together, is we're going to, because we have to wait for our chicken to come to room temperature. Because if we go to fry our chicken, when it's fresh out of the fridge, it's gonna be so cold that it's gonna shock the oil that we're putting it in, and it'll cool it down so quick, and then it won't cook right because it'll make it drop in temperature. So now that we have this stirred together, we're going to wait, let this over here come, because I've even got condensation on the outside of my hands. But I want to show you briefly kind of how it's looking. And you can see there, doesn't that look good? And because it has our either SIBO yogurt, Reuteri yogurt, or your sour cream, depending on which one you want. All three work. It's personal preference on that. It'll have this really nice tang to the chicken that's going to be absolutely delicious. And then if you think about it, it's been in the cultures and it's kind of been tenderizing the meat for you because of the cultures in the yogurts. So it's going to be delicious. While our oil is coming to temperature, we're going to create our battered chicken. You can see how it did overall. So what we're going to do now is, now remember, this is a mixture of all those spices and everything. We're going to put our chicken in here, and I'm using my dry hand to put the flour over it and around it, and then I'm shaking off the excess. Okay, and I'm going to put that to the side. And then I'm going to take the next one, mix it around. I'm shaking off the excess liquid as well. Put it in here. Put my dry hand on the chicken. Flour. Make sure it's well coated on all sides. If you need to, move it around. Shake it off.
You want to check the temperature of the oil?
It's not there yet. It's only at 200. I got a beeper on my measuring thing that when it gets about 5 degrees close to the temperature I've set it to, it'll start beeping. And I love that. I love that temperature gauge. I got it years ago. It's a type of candy thermometer that just does an awesome job. Okay, shake off the excess, put it to the side. Okay. Shake off the excess liquid, dip it in there. Let me get this breaded really good. Really roll it around in this batter because you want to make sure you're getting it well coated. Shake off the excess, put it to the side. Now we've got our last one here. Shake off the excess. Roll it around in there. Shake off the excess, put it aside. So I'm going to do about a tablespoon of, and you can do either yogurt, either the SIBO or the Reuteri yogurt, or even my homemade sour cream. Either one of those three will work for this step. You just need to make sure it's got that sour, and it'll help make the eggs creamy, which all three of those will do. We're gonna an egg, twist that up. Okay, we're gonna do another egg and crack it. And you don't need much. You're just wanting enough liquid that you can re-dip the eggs. There we go. Okay, now over here, remember we have our breaded chicken. So we're going to take one, I'm going to roll it around. And now the reason we're doing this is because we're double dipping them. Because anyone that's ever dealt with frying of chicken knows that if you can double dip them, you'll get a better crust. And it'll come out more flavorful than if you didn't. And you might have to roll it around just a little bit because we're getting down to the bottom of our flour. And I'm going to put this on the other side of my cutting board so I know the difference between which one has been double coated versus single coated. Taking our next chicken. Again, rolling it around. And these are drumsticks for any of you that are curious. Oh, and there's the beeping of our temperature gauge. So this is perfect. We're within 5 degrees of coming to the perfect temperature that I have set. Shake that. The other side. Take our third chicken. Well coated. Shake off the excess. Might need to roll it around a little bit though. Shake off the excess. Very much of shake off the excess because you don't want more than what you need to do this. Turning down the temperature just a little bit because I don't want it going too high because you want it to be at 320. So I dropped it down just a little bit since it went over. That's why I love that temperature gauge I got all those years ago, is because it does help me so that I can be a little bit more hands-free when it comes to frying with temperatures and everything. Okay. Okay, shake off the excess. Now I'm going to wash my hands real quick so that we can actually start frying. You need a little basket you can actually pick things up in. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our double breaded chicken and slowly add it in. There's it coming back up to temperature. Okay, and then we're going to wait about 10 minutes. You can hear my alarm on my, I don't know if you want to see this or not, but it's showing the temperature fluctuations. And as it goes down and up, it starts beeping. And you can see when I added the chicken, it started dropping the temperature down. So, and then it'll start beeping again to say it's coming back up to temperature. And you'll also need to rotate the chicken, but we're going to let it cook like this for about 10 minutes. And then we're going to flip it. And then we will come back and do some more. It's 3 minutes before our 10-minute mark, but they're looking so brown that I said, let's check it. And you can see it needs flipping now. So I just have this last one here left. You can see how good these are looking. It's a nice crispy crust that's turning out. And so now we'll let it cook for about another 5 minutes and then we'll check it. So our alarm went off, so we turned it off. And I'm turning off the eye. And now we're going to start putting these out and onto our cooling rack. That is beautiful. Yeah. And the crust is extremely crunchy. I can feel it because of how it's coming into the basket. It's very hard crusted. Oh, that one's probably a little bit too brown, but I know Dad likes a little bit of browning on that. I'm just shaking off the excess so it's not too much dripping around. And the great part is because of the way I've made these, it's migraineurs can pretty much eat this too. And without having to worry about the gluten that's normally present in, you know, most fried chicken. Now what you want to do at this point, you might want to add just a little bit of salt. Not much, but just a little bit, just so it'll bring out the flavors just a little bit. Okay, and then we'll let this cool down a little bit, and then we'll show you just how crunchy this is. Okay, so Dad's having his fried chicken.
Where's the salt?
Daddy's having his, you might want to taste it before you salt it, because I salted the chicken already.
I ain't worried about the chicken, I want my green beans.
You want your green beans. Good. What do you think?
Oh, that's good.
Is that crispy enough for you?
Mm-hmm. That's good.